You know, when I first jumped into the marketing field, I was really pumped about the whole thing. I thought it'd be all about creativity, brainstorming sessions where we come up with the next big thing. But, man, was I wrong. It's just not what everyone thinks. My day-to-day? It's just endless reports, analyzing clicks and conversion rates, and meetings that drag on forever. No one tells you how much of this job is just trying to justify your campaign choices to people who care more about numbers than innovation. Honestly, I feel like my creativity is just wilting away. I'm stuck in this loop of producing what's safe and what's known to work just to hit those targets. And the office politics? That's a whole other game. You've got to play this social chess just to keep your job or get a decent project. Sometimes I think about quitting, but then I worry about starting all over again in a new place. It's just a lot, you know? It's draining, and it's not just the workload. It's the constant pressure and the lack of real satisfaction.
Honestly, working as a cashier isn't anything glamorous, and it's tough most days. From the moment I clock in to the moment I leave, it's a non-stop stream of scanning items and dealing with all sorts of customers. Some days, it feels like time is crawling because it's so repetitive. Scan, bag, smile, repeat. And standing there for hours? My feet are killing me by the end of the day. And let's talk about dealing with people. Most are okay, but then you get some who just throw their frustrations at you over things I can't control, like prices or store policies. It's exhausting having to constantly keep your cool. I always thought this would be a temporary gig, something to get me through until I figured out what I really wanted to do. But jobs are hard to come by, and this one at least pays the bills barely. Every shift I wonder if I should start looking for something else, but then I get home too tired to even think about it.
I've been a bank teller for a few years now, and every day feels more or less the same. It seemed like a stable job at first. Clean workplace, regular hours, and all that. But the reality is, it's just repetitive and, frankly, a bit soul-crushing. Every day, I deal with long lines of customers, most of whom are nice enough. But then there are those who take out their frustrations on you. And the pressure from management to meet daily targets on upselling products, it feels like I'm more of a salesperson than someone helping with financial needs. It's not just the monotony, but the lack of personal growth that gets to me. There's little to no opportunity for advancement unless someone leaves or retires. Plus, the rules are so strict. One tiny mistake can lead to a huge problem. It's this constant tension, always having to be perfect, that really wears you down. I keep thinking about looking for something else. Something with more meaning and less stress, but the security of having a steady paycheck keeps pulling me back.
I got into software engineering because I loved coding and building things from scratch. I thought it would be about innovation and solving complex problems. But now, a few years down the line, it feels so different from what I expected. Most of my time is not even spent coding anymore. It's about sitting through endless meetings, dealing with bureaucracy, and trying to navigate office politics. The workload is relentless. There's this constant push to meet unrealistic deadlines. We often end up cutting corners just to get things out the door on time, which goes against everything I believe in as an engineer. And then there's the maintenance of old code. Talk about frustrating. You spend more time fixing bugs in outdated systems than actually creating something new and exciting. Honestly, I feel like just another cog in the machine. The passion I once had is fading because of the monotony and the lack of creative freedom. Every day it's the same routine, and it starts to get to you. There's this disconnect between what I do and the impact it has. Sometimes I think about joining a startup, hoping for a change of pace and a chance to really innovate. But the risk of leaving a stable job, especially in today's economy, is scary. It's like I'm stuck between wanting more and fearing the unknown.
Being a waiter at a hot pot restaurant while juggling my studies seemed like a decent plan initially. Flexible hours and some extra cash. But let me tell you, it's way harder than I anticipated. The shifts are long, and they often stretch later than scheduled, especially on weekends when the place is packed. It's just non-stop from the moment I clock in. The work itself is exhausting. You're on your feet the whole time, running back and forth, taking orders, serving steaming pots, and trying to keep up with the cleanup. And hot pot dining means customers stay longer, which can be great for tips, but also means a lot more work per table. Plus, the heat from the cooking stations makes the whole environment stifling. Then there's dealing with customers. Most are okay, but you always get a few who are overly demanding or who complain about things I can't control, like menu prices or wait times. Sometimes it feels like no matter how hard I try to provide good service, it's never enough. I keep telling myself it's temporary, just a way to pay for school and some bills. But it's tough when you're sacrificing sleep and study time. I'm constantly tired, which isn't great for my grades. I've been thinking about looking for something else, maybe something with less customer interaction. But then I worry about finding a place that's as flexible around my class schedule. It's like I'm stuck in this cycle, and it's a lot to handle while trying to stay on top of my coursework.